one. See, this is an article that just annoys me now. Doctor Who as new season 15 directors teasing unique maze sequence. Look, mate, you've teased the greatest thing ever with Wild Blue Yonder. And frankly, it was dull, right? It wasn't that great. It wasn't as shit as all the other ones. No, actually, I think the last one, the Toymaker one, was by far the best. But it was dull, right? It wasn't that. And you keep saying it's you tease the TARDIS. It's a unique TARDIS, so you take a unique maze sequence. The Doctor's going to be in a maze for a little bit. Wait, mark my words. When you see it on TV, it's going to be entirely unremarkable, right? Entirely unremarkable. And why is the fucking console so fucking big? Fucking stupid. Oh, I hate it. The new director worked on Gentleman Jack and Waterloo Road. Don't give a shit, mate. Don't give a shit. We may not have seen shoot his first season as Doctor Who. About a month ago, May the 4th, I suppose, isn't it? No, 2 months ago, should I say. Yeah, it's May the 4th. The sources say. By the way, there's no release date for Celestial Toymaker yet, I saw. Let's have a look. 1 second. Amazon.com. The Celestial Toymaker Blu-ray. Doink. Where is it? Man, they don't even have cover art yet. They don't have a release date or cover art. That's really wild. Right, that's really, really... Don't you think that's strange? I think that's strange. I mean, look, I'm not like, on bated breath waiting for it. It looks like it's going to be shit. Anyway, but that's going to come through regarding the second season, which is in production now. Case in point, we just learned the two directors will be taking on episodes in season 15. One of them has been teased as an exciting sequence involving a maze. There is an exciting sequence involving a maze. Okay, that's your story, really? The news comes going to this month's edition of Doctor Who magazine, which it revealed that Amanda Brocci, Gentleman Jack, and Michaela McPherson, Waterloo Road, will be helming the episode. McPherson, everything please. A unique crane shot as the Doctor runs through a maze to escape the captors, which will play for a particular sequence. I hope it will give viewers a dynamic peek into a bit of cultural history. Oh, fuck no. Cultural history. That's going to be tokenism. Look, it's going to be about black people. We're good people because we're talking about black people. Not like you. Don't talk about black people. We only talk about black people because we're good people. Good people talk about black people all the time. Black people, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this is a shit edition of Doctor Who magazine, right? It's a genuinely shit edition. Yeah, so the directors, who cares, right? Fine. So they announced new series cast announcements. Fine. So this is what sparked off the idiot, insane Disney bots unleashed onto the world. While production forges ahead on next year's series of Doctor Who, movies are readying themselves to publicise Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson's first series. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that in a minute. And frankly, this post we're seeing on screen, which I've seen in several languages now, is shit. I think it's a fair way. It's shit, right? It's shit. Speaking of the Doctor Who magazine, showrunner Russell Davies has revealed they're adding some casting for the episodes that are being readied at the end of spring. They said, as the heat rises and May gets closer, it's exciting to reveal that more and more casting from season 1. Bear in mind, we got big name surprises come. Listen, big name surprises are normally, look, you're excited about, I don't know, the bloke in the Regency episode who I don't know who it is. I mean, I don't care. Oh, look, you have Hugh Grant on. That's a big name. Anybody not Hugh Grant isn't a big name. And look, if you have a big name, I'll say, yeah, they had a big name. I was wrong. But, you know, you can only have so much flam before people just call you out on your bullshit, right? Come back. Yeah, you really can. By the way, let me find this. I saw that poster in Korean. Let me see if I can pull that up. Hang on. It was maybe hashtag Doctor Who. Let's try hashtag Doctor Who. Doctor Who. Because in Korean it looks okay. It's still not noticeable in any language, really. Right? It's really. I mean, it's like I think this post is particularly weak. Right? Particularly weak. It's like these sort of things are much better. The Doctor Who has like a real tradition of great artwork. Oh, I can't find it. Where is it? It's got a real tradition of great artwork, be it digital, be it. There's all kinds of great Doctor Who artwork out there. And sadly, this like textual thing is just, I think, a bit cack, right? I do. I think it's a bit cack. Yeah, so if I can find a... here we go. Doink. Is this as well? Should grab that. Something from Bad Wolf. Rusty Davies today at work. Is that downloading? Come on. There you go. There you go. That came down. Well, yeah. Let me find the thing in Korean, because I find it more interesting in Korean than I do in English. Oh, here it is. So, doink. That here. And that here. Where is it? So, there we go. I hope we get this in Hebrew, right? That'd be kind of cool. I can't find where I am. Where's my screen? There you go. So if come back. Right. So there it is in English. And again, one of the troubles with this is you haven't built. You've got to re-establish this brand completely. And that's really what the David Tennant specials are for, and you didn't do it, right? That's the big problem with you didn't manage to reestablish brand. Here's that poster in Korean. Oh, wrong thing. Hang on. Doink. Share screen. There you go. I know. For me, I just find it kind of like, more entertaining when I have no idea what I'm looking at. There you go. Hang on. Share screen. Okay. Fine. So they've cast these two. Bear in mind, got names to come. With joy, we welcome Genesis Linear on board. It was a great delight for me to work with Genesis on TV show called You and Me back in 2023. Okay. And it's like, it seems to be that you're only really interested in anything gay. If it's not gay, it seems to be that you're not really that interested in, like, you're only interested in like hiring gay people in front and back of the camera. Right, kind of like a bit of relentless gayness, I would say. Oh, here we go, doink. So, hang on, let me grab this other one. So you got that, and then we Gender, You and Me, and it was also so much fun to work with her soon in a very different role. Genesis, perhaps best known for regular roles in Casualty as a registrar Archie Hudson. In Silent Witness, as forensic ecologist Simone Tyler. Now she's on the recent Netflix show Shannon Bow. I heard that was shit, right? I did hear that was completely shit, right? That like nobody managed to like get through a season of it. Fine. I'm bored reading this stuff. Also joining the cast is Guion Morris Jones, who appeared in Bad Wolves: The Winter King as Grolin, and an episode of Apple TV's Master of the Air. Oh, okay. Well, I recognize him, Master of the Air. He played a kid in there. That also stars Shooty Gatwa. We're up to episode 7 next week. I still haven't seen it. Right? It's great to welcome new talent onto talent on board. So, but I can't say any more spoilers. Right. So, look, Russell Davies' take on marketing is kind of like the Stan Lee take, which is I think kind of like why I really wanted to like it. Right. I really do like him. It's because the Stanley was just so into what he was doing. The come on, sports fans, we got this, it's great. You know, they'll build things up. It'll be a carnival barker, and it was really fun, right? In the bullpen things, right? Jonathan Groff is a big name from Broadway who was on Glee. Yeah, I don't care, right? That's not a big name, right? Doctor with amazing Technicolor. No, just draw them saying, but don't care about that. What was I talking about? We were talking about the fine, yeah. So, which and that marketing I think is really quite. It's quite nice. Again, yeah, I think it's a reason why I think he was genuinely beloved by fandom. So, but also he had a product that could be that really could be marketed, right? Not so much anymore. And we have Attack of the Bots, right? Which is what I believe this is over. This was who bought this tweet? It's from Master of who is it? Master of TDS. Master of the TDS at Master of TDS on the Twitter. But this is a very good. There's more as well. There's a. We need to pull that. Let me just grab this. Okay, fine. Is there more? Okay, so she says, below is a thread of tweets of Disney and someone involved with them potentially using paid blue check bots or coordinating groups to promote shows and movies. I've already made a video covering this in detail, which will be linked at the end of this thread. I will put that link in. Right, I will definitely put that link in. If you cover Tuesday's post in a video, I'm choosing to right now. That choice is going on. Right, please be sure to credit me. I am crediting it. Fine. Let me share the screen. Right, because I don't want to be accused of not crediting. And also, I like your Twitter feed. It's good. If you're going to be posting, please be sure to credit me. This has took months of research, and if you could shout out my video on the side, it will be appreciated. Absolutely will. Absolutely, I will. Fine. So how many of these we got? There's the Echo series, Doctor Who. Man. Oh, man. We got to go through all these. Goosebumps, Marvel's Loki. Crap. Okay, well, I'll just let's start with Doctor Who. Because, yeah, that's basically why we're here. So we have this person, Sarah _ Nicole 02. Exciting news! The TARDIS awaits an adventure in the upcoming Doctor Who series on Disney Plus this May. Get ready to embark on a thrilling journey. Yeah, that's written by AI. That's a bot, right? And, man, how much they spend on this shit? How many bots do they have? Can't wait to hop on board the TARDIS. Bring on the adventure. Can't wait to travel through time and space. Will you shut up? None of this is real. Like, okay, so here's a question. Why do they have to do this? Why is the quality of the work that they're going to present not enough to sell it? Like, why do they need to do this? Look, I'll be frank. The quality of everything I've seen so far has been very low. The only thing that's brought up in any way, and really the only thing, has been Shooty, which a lot of people haven't liked, and Millie, who you fired, right? So why do you need to do this? Right? Why do you need to do this? Right? It sounds to me like you're desperate. Right? It really does sound to me like you're desperate. Can't wait to travel to time and space with the Doctor on Disney Plus. Sounds like time traveling adventure waits. Can't wait to hop on board the TARDIS. Awesome. Can't wait to hop on board the TARDIS and travel through time and space in the upcoming series of Disney. This is all sock puppet accounts, right? None of these things are real, right? Oh, thank you for putting the channel in the chat there, PD. Where are we up to? Ramon Romeo says, that's fantastic news. Can't wait to hop on board the TARDIS and embark on an exciting adventure. That's awesome. Can't wait to hop on board the TARDIS and join an adventure in May. You fuck off. But why do you need to do this? Like, why not just make good shows that will organically be liked by people? Right? Why do you need to... This nothing says you have no confidence in your product like this, right? I understand you need to do that with all the Disney Plus shit, right? But like, why do you need to do this here, right? I mean, it's a question. Like, why do you need to do this? This is really bad. That sounds awesome. Can't wait to time travel with the Doctor. Disney Plus got a whole lot more exciting. Can't wait to hop on board the TARDIS and travel through space and time. Can't wait to hop on board. Sounds like a fantastic journey aboard. No, you're making it sound like it's going to be shit, mate. I hate to be the one to tell you. And Disney Plus, are we getting the Hooniverse that you have on iPlayer? I don't know. They fucked everything up thus far. They said they're having a big launch in May, but like, I thought that HBO has classic Who, doesn't it? Until I don't know, 2025 or something like that. So if you didn't think those were bots, check out this one. So here. An X-ray this month calls for Disney Plus marathon. With arrivals like the Marvels, Ouija, and Sandlot, there's plenty to look forward to on Disney Plus. Sounds perfect way to make the most of the bonus day. Sounds like the perfect way to spend an extra day. So many awesome shows. A card off. Who believes this shit? It's unbelievable. It really is. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazily unbelievable, right? And again, I think it spells deep lack of confidence, right? A deep lack of confidence. Now, the reason I think they're shitting themselves is because, essentially, look, they've destroyed their own industry, right? They've literally sunk their own industry. I have mentioned during the Trump years, remember, we had the best economy of our lives and world peace. We didn't realize how much better the economy was under Obama than it is now, right? It is shockingly bad, right? The economy hasn't been this bad in our lifetime, I think. Maybe the 70s. I think it's worse now in the 70s than in the 70s, I should say. But so but because of that, we got used to there being like resources that we do just pretty much anything we want, right? And that's why, and it's taken that long for these $1 billion losses, $1 billion loss after another $1 billion loss after another $1 billion loss to finally have an effect. And we're seeing the first signs of it now, and I'm really quite happy about it on many levels, because I just think the budgets for these shows are too big. They hide behind huge budgets. The Crown and Doctor Who producers developing lower budget slates in response to tricky market. So wait a minute. Are they still going to be making shows that lecture us, but it costs them less to lecture us? Is that the plan now? Well, the Crown never did lecture me, I felt. Although I never finished watching the last season. Some of the biggest Doctor Who drama production houses have started developing lower budget slates to develop a market, the market and the success of local stories like Mr. Bates, such as Mr. Bates versus the Post Office. Great, but here, the reason why that was good is it didn't lecture you. It was good. It was just like a a good, solid story, right? Something that we haven't gotten so much of late. Fine. So the boss of Doctor Who, Doctor Who, co-producer Bad Wolf and The Crown left marker left bank. What? The boss of Doctor Who, co-producer Bad Wolf and The Crown maker, left bank. Okay, that's the company, Left Bank. Both told Doctor Who they have started nurturing development pot for shows that cost less to make than the previous fare. Thank you. Right, it's a good idea. Right, it's a good idea. Multiple other drama execs have indicated they're adopting similar strategy at this week's London TV screening. Places budget woes at the center of the conversation. Yeah, again, the extra budget you had with Doctor Who really didn't do much for you. Sad, I'm sorry to say. Speaking of the deadline about upcoming BBC series Dope Girls, Bad will produce a Train Tranter said her team's developing slate now contains projects of a different budget scale than we've been doing, a move that she's enjoying. Yeah, look, when you don't have unlimited money, you actually have to be inventive, right? Look at this. 1 second. I just noticed this on the side. See number 9? News networks carry Donald Trump's Supreme Court remarks and his unfounded claim that Joe Biden has weaponized the Justice Department. Yeah, you know why? You know what the evidence that Joe Biden hasn't weaponized the Justice Department is because both Joe Biden and the Justice Department say they haven't weaponized the Justice Department, even though they have very obviously and clearly weaponized the Justice Department. Because they say they haven't weaponized the Justice Department, now for it's an unfounded claim. Okay. Oh, fuck it. This is why you are developing cheaper shows. Because you've fucked off half the fucking viewing public. More. Right? More now. Where we are. Tranter, who said the Carter headquarters outfit is pondering just how to make epics like his Dark Materials at a cheaper price point. Look at the 2000 Dune, which I think is the best adaptation of Dune, frankly. You do a project like Dark Materials, which is big as they come, and then you think, what can we do that is smaller and more local? I don't know, like everything you did up until 2015. Well, Misfits, that was good. Well, Doctor Who, they used to be a cheap little show. If it's fancy, can it be grounded fancy? Look at Neverwhere. With less world building, and that will make... No, you can make tons of world building without actually having to build the bloody world, right? And what will mean some of our values are a completely different filming structure. While enjoying the creative challenge, this move is in no doubt being driven by the lack of funding in the drama market since the US and the ad recession set in. Tranter said the model for from yesteryear is making a show that takes a standard UK broadcaster and then topped up by a North American player. It's becoming far harder to achieve. With Dope Girls, the team has effectively fast-tracked episode 1 in London in time for the London and LA screenings in order to trigger financing conversations at an earlier stage with different buyers. The company also just received £4 million to drive growth in Wales. The biggest challenge for any UK producer right now is finding the money at least to match a UK budget. Again, the reason that you had unlimited money is because of Donald Trump, right? And then you pissed it away. Like, again, just look at the bullshit here. The unfounded claim he weaponized the Justice Department. Well, why is there not an equal justice? And why is that unequal justice against Trump supporters? It's insane. Joe Biden takes his documents, strews it around his house, and everything's fine. Trump locks them up in a closet, and the FBI come and smash down the door, throw the files around, and take pictures of them, and then publish it. Right? It's in freaking no evidence, none whatsoever. You're full of shit, mate. You're absolutely full of shit. maybe you shouldn't spend your working life like lecturing us relentlessly, right? How about that? Harrison, like, 1 second. Broadcast budgets have not kept pace with inflation. Inflation, that again, your political idiocy calls. Idiocy calls. Is finding producer license. You can't make a show on license fee with any ambition, said Andy Harris. Fuck you. Look. Yeah, 1 second. Dennis Potter. Let's look at the works of Dennis Potter, made with no money whatsoever. Right? Yeah, 1 second. Do we have a filmography? No, we don't have a filmography. Really? Works of BBC in the 80s. Tender as the Night. I can't remember that. Where is it? He did a screenplay of Gorky Park. I didn't know that. Penance from Heaven. That was a regular budget. Brimstone and Treacle, also regular budget. Brimstone and Treacle was great. Dedham Elliott was great in that. Vote, Nigel Bryan, yeah. There used to be a plethora of like excellent drama made within a fantasy, made within a doable budget. Right? I'm sorry. These huge budgets are something you just hide behind, right? That's really it is. You're just hiding behind them because you think if you throw money at it, then people will look at it. Well, if you actually write something good, right, then people will want to watch it as well. Mr. Bates versus the Post Office is a great example. Broadcast has not kept pace with the rate of inflation you calls. At the same time, there's been obvious tightening up in the international marketplace. I am conscious of overdeveloping a state that will be hard to finance. You mean, yeah, again, no, you can't afford your bullshit anymore. Harris is aligned with Tranter in opinions that developing lower price points. Just after the deadline interview, the BBC announced a left bank commission entitled "The City Is Ours," Liverpool set rom-com from the Last Kingdom writer Stephen Butcher that Harris said cost £2.5 million, $3.2 million per episode. I don't understand why they're so expensive. Okay. According to Harris, these who was at the helm of the first ever TV shows that cost $10 million, This City Is Ours budget is related to how the bottom has fallen out. The mid-budget drama shows that cost blah, 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 blah. That's true. Okay, but this is... Oh, man. You're going on... I've got to check this out. The Outlaws is on Apple TV+. I've really got to check that out. But the point is this. Yeah, they had a golden age and they pissed it away, right? They pissed it away with absolute pure stupidity, right? Absolute pure stupidity. 10 hours realities of watching Doctor Who. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, cunt. We are, yeah, what's your harsh reality? Fuck you, you cunt. Like, really? You're like waving a red flag to a fucking ball at this point. 10 harsh really? Really? Okay, then. But button down, people. Return to the Classics Doctor Who comes as somewhat of a unintentional problems. What? It's so much better than the cack they make today. Like, I'm sorry. God, now, don't get me wrong. I liked the 2005 to 2017. I thought a lot of it was very good. But, like, fuck me. The quality in writing in general is so superior in Classic Who, generally speaking, right? Can stand out, can be seen through a modern lens. Or fuck your modern lens, Brand and Zachary. Doctor Who debuted in 1963, had been an entertaining one for 50 years, but there are still major elements of the early years of the show that don't hold up over time. As with any show, it's written blah, 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 blah. So that's... However, some harsh realities are worth remembering, especially considering that a full run of the entire show is impossible due to circumstances that befell the show after it aired. Here are some of the biggest hurdles that fans have to face when they go back the classic era. Doctor Who classic companions are very thinly written. Who? I mean, okay, if you look at the John Nathan Turner ones, that could be true. But then they were fleshed out, right, over time. They were, let's go through this. Susan, certainly not thinly written, right? Or Barbara, or Ian. Or Vicky, or Stephen, right? Dodo, I would have said so before I've seen more of her. And Lauren Cornelius' take on her has been perfect, right? It's been really, really good. Yeah, I think actually no, she's got quite a veiled part. Checker Bars. Ben and Polly, yeah, they had a log line, but they developed their own personality, right? Again, look, it was okay. I'll agree with Ben and Polly. We know nothing about them, but Ben's a merchant shipman and Polly is Polly. You got a point about Ben and Polly, right? But okay, that's one. One out of how many? How many we did so far? Susan, Ian, Barbara, Vicky, Ian, Dodo. Okay, so we have Ben and Polly. So we have, I'll say 1 out of 8. That's not so bad, right? So then we have Jamie, not thinly written at all. Zoe, up to 10. Was she thinly written? No, she developed into a personality. Right, she started as a logline and became that's how characters develop on TV. Zoe. Who was it? Victoria, certainly not thinly written. Up to 13. Then we got Liz Short, not thinly written. Joe Grant, no. I'm sorry. Quite a layered personality. Sarah Jane Smith, fuck you. Thinly written, fuck you. Who are you talking about? Leela, no. Fabulous performance. Really interesting take, a very intelligent take on it, right? Romana 1, Romana 2, no. Real interest. We're up to 19. 1 or 2 out of 19. It's not a strong argument. So then you got Tegan. Oh no, was it Tegan first? No, you had Adric. Well, K9, top thinly written. We're up to 20. Adric. They got picked at Adric there. I mean, he was young. I don't think he was thinly written. No. Nissa, maybe. Nissa really came together in the audios, but I'll give you Nissa. Right, we're up to 23. You got 2 out of 23. Tegan developed a personality. Oh, we already did Tegan, I think. No, I don't think we did. Perry was thinly written, but certainly developed a wonderful personality I'd like to see more of. Very bubbling girl. Perry, we have... who else is there? Then Mel. Yeah, okay, you got Mel. I'll give you Mel. Right? Ace, no. So fuck you. 3 out of 32. Excuse me. The Doctor's Sisters were a real mixed bag of characters. Okay. Doctor's deep roasted companions over the years have produced some franchises' best characters like Adventurous Sarah Jane, Bold Jamie, and Blunt Leela. Fuck me, you're a moron. Among the best. However, there were dozens of companions across the course of classic Doctor Who, and not all of them can match the same height. Well, obviously not. Many of Doctor's oldest companions blend together or suffer inglorious fates during the show. What? As the show was the primary focus on the adventures of the Doctor and monsters they encountered, some of the companions were increasing sideline for their event. Like, tell me who, and then they left. They weren't happy about it. Even the creator of the show felt this at times, with some of the companions like Katarina killed off primarily because they couldn't find unique elements to the character. So they got rid of her then. She didn't work. Fuck me. So they what, 3 episodes? The Doctor's original companions also steadily began to fit stereo archetypes over time because it worked. with the exceptions like leader. Who? Okay, excuse me. Let's go. Sarah Jane. Okay, Sarah Jane Smith. No. Leela. No. It was it. Romana. No. Romana 2. No. Tegan. No. Nissa. No. No. Stera. No. Adric. No. Fuck you. Perry. No. Fucking moron. Standing more as a result, while the best companions of the era are among the show's most likable barriers, it's a bit of a gamble when it comes to fuck you. Doctor Who's old release format means every story was too long. If you're coming as a newbie rewatching, I think this is a fair criticism, right? Which is why I am, if it's done well, which it wasn't with the Daleks, it was nearly done well. But if it's done well, I could be on board for it, right? I think it was like the colorization. Just none of it was good enough. The colorization of the Daleks wasn't good enough. The editing wasn't good enough, and the new soundtrack wasn't good enough. Right? It wasn't good enough. Bottom line, I think you had cheaper people do it, and you get the results you pay for. Like, no diss to anybody involved, but what's his name? Mark Ayres isn't Hans fucking Zimmer. Right, and it's no. I'm sorry, mate. What's this called again? It's a douchebag. What's his name? Ben Cook. Right, Ben Cook, Edward Scissorhands. Sorry, mate. You just didn't deliver, and the colorization, it just looked fake. I'm sorry, it didn't convince me, and I'm sorry it didn't. Right. But mainly, I think this, like, if you've got to ease yourself into being able to watch traditional format Doctor Who, right? You really got to ease yourself into it. Whereas the modern Doctor Who largely thrives on hourly episode format, it's designed for this audience, right? The early Doctor Who stories would regularly run a multiple half-hour episodes. Sometimes this gave. Okay, you know what they should be doing, and they didn't do it for the specials. It was stupid. They should have made so much exclusive content for social media, for TikTok, for Instagram, for Twitter, for Facebook. Right? It's like that people will get on their phone and get you interested in watching the fucking episodes. Right? And I just assumed they would do that. I thought they were going to use this digital format. Man, they have dropped the ball with this new season, this new era. So overly long episodes. The early Doctor Who would run for multiple half-hour episodes. Sometimes this gave the plots room they needed to be fleshed out. Good stories, such as the Apocalyptic Inferno storyline with the Third Doctor. However, this committed to a length of severely impacted pacing of the show overall. You know what? I'm not going. I'm saying he's right on this one. I think fair enough. Leaving some episodes forced to draw out stories longer than they needed to be. Even at their best, these long epics would run at extended pacing. I mean, you do get good. I mean, they're designed to be watched in 25-minute chunks. They're not designed to be sit down and watched in one go. I mean, even in this age of binge watching, it does your head in. You know what really does your head into binge watch? Sapphire and Still. Because, like, a good 20% of it is repeated each week, maybe 30%, right? But yeah, that needs to be edited down to movie formats. Even at the best, these long epics would run afoul of extended pacing, stretching out the plot to require near constant cliffhangers to close out. Yeah, you did. In weaker stories, the length, you need to be given examples to make this argument, right? Examined by the flaws by drawing them out, dozens of examples. We'll give one. This also meant that the monsters and the threats don't quite work. End up unfortunate amount of time. Well, the early Doctor Who adventures justified their length, having all of them conform to a lengthy approach, only exemplified the show's weaker entries. Yeah, it's right. Okay, I think that's a fair criticism. Okay, old Doctor Who were more formulaic. Absolutely not. What the fuck are you talking about? Absolutely not. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. Oy vey. That's nonsense, mate. Overrides on what? This is one of the best elements of Doctor Who as a franchise, is the way the series can inherently hop around any period of space and time. The tonal experimentation allow for the best Doctor Who to embrace comedic beats, jump into heady sci-fi, or embrace some surprisingly impactful human stories. However, over the years, the series became driven by a particular format and formula. Like what? The result is the episodes blended together and became forgettable. Like, that's Jodie, sure. But, like, classic? Shorter runtime can more simply be self-contained stories of modern Who. Doctor Who allows for a more flexible ability to play with the story structure. The Doctor and his companions would arrive somewhere unexpected and dangerous, encounter an alien threat, and this is every classic episode of Who, you fuckface. Learn a lesson, move on. The format of Doctor Who is a solid baseline for the show, but over-reliance on this start, again, there were so many, there's so many times they deviate, there's so much space in that. It's like compare, I don't know, even something in the same era, was it Visitation to, what's that one, Terminus, right? Wildly different stories. Wildly inventive stories, but basically following that format. And then so stupid. Especially with aforementioned long-running plot lines. Like, what's your preferred getaway entrance? Give me some examples. Doctor's older bits could be hilariously bad. Well, again, I kind of like the new effects a lot. I think they are they make things better. Right here, for example. Going to look at the Fourth Doctor, Ark in Space, right? And I think this is an early one, right? So this is actually quite a strong example. Is this the? Do I have the original version? I'm not sure I have the original version. Let's have a look. Yeah, let's avoid the copyright gods. Right. Okay. So that's the opening for the special event, and I don't think it detracts from it at all. I think seeing the original special effects is so jarring, right? It's just like, oh, there's a big washing up bottle on the screen, right? This is, I think, is much stronger, right? I think it's much stronger, right? One man's opinion. So I don't mind new effects. It depends. It depends on most of the time the story overcomes it, right? In my opinion. Doctor Who effects during the initial run of the show, where the indicative of the era, basically hops with basic props and costumes meant to replicate the show's ambition. Sci-fi said, yeah, look, I mean, the advent of Star Wars just gave Doctor Who this inferiority complex. It couldn't get out of it. It was fine. It was fine up until Star Wars go and they go, oh, fuck, we look like shit, right? And they spent much of the 80s in a tailspin about that. Until they decided to just go back to good old-fashioned spooky storytelling with the last couple of seasons of Sylvester McCoy, right? Where are we up to? However, the classic Doctor couldn't always keep up with the concepts and presenting the script. This led to producers to resort to creative solutions that didn't always translate to television. Yeah, exactly. Special effects and costumes could be bizarre. Didn't always work. Adding an intentional comedy. I guess if you're a callow youth. All right. Old episode. Look, Kinder looks better with the new effects. Right. I hate to tell you. Old episodes of Doctor Who are infamous to this day for cheesy effects with clear puppet and repurposed costumes. Yeah, again, that doesn't really bother me. From classic episodes of the sci-fi, even compared to other shows of the era, Doctor Who could stand out due to its bizarre nature as enemies. I'm sorry, it was fine in its own era. Doctors were prone to little accents and mistakes during filming. We had imagination, so we were taken away by it, right? You people who grew up looking at your bloody screens don't. The confusing, inconsistent lore can be very confusing. Doctor Who's inconsistent lore, how? Well, compared to now, I'm sorry, it was fine until bloody Jodie Whittaker showed a stodding face. The Doctor's a Time Lord hailing from the distant advanced world of Gallifrey. Okay, well, I think, she was. Yeah, and then again, Jodie Whittaker came along. God help us, mate. God help us. Is a setting for that invited plenty of unique touches and unexpected lore. What was it? During the introducing the war game arc, second Doctor run the show Gallifrey is a setting that invited plenty of unique touches and unexpected lore, especially that of as of Doctor Who went on. However, the show repeatedly returned to the Time Lord homeworld, much more in the current era. I'm sorry. More revelations, more unique touches were added to the setting over time. These issues only grew more contradictory. Give an example. Rules of Doctor Who regeneration were introduced, but then tweaked by other characters, and the firm rules of time or so were changed. Yeah, no, this was fine until modern era. You fuck faces. Character archetypes would repeat lore. Lore would be changed with little warning, and hard sci-fi setting often get lost in the minute. Like what? Like what? Time Lost Society was okay. The biggest change was from in between Three Doctors to the Deadly Assassin. Right, that was the biggest change. Clear lack of, but a lack of clear and consistent world building made it. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. You're babbling, mate. You're babbling. Older episode is missing some important episodes. Yes, fans will never likely see the first war regenerate. I think we will, actually, quite frankly. So we've spoken a lot about this. Yes, I understand, but we're trying different ways, right? We are trying different ways. Oh, what's the name of the download? 1 second. One second. Downloads. Doink. Firstly, yeah. Look, we get the Celestial Toy Maker is just their resource is.
Remember the past.
It's awful. Right? I'm sorry.
Looks crazy to me. Now,
why are you reimagining it so badly? And Callum Weston's one's so much better. Just so much better. Classic Doctor Who had production problems that impact the watchability. It's really hard to understand the show sometimes. Not for me. I guess if you're a knuckle dragging moron, right? It might be a bit tricky, right? Not for me, mate. I hate to tell you. Doctor Who wasn't working on with a budget anywhere near what the show receives now, even when taking inflation. Yes, we know, right? Nobody the money they put into TV shows nowadays is ridiculous, right? It's that they hide weak scripts behind money, right? It's freaking ridiculous how much money they put into TV shows, right? And I think it was better back then, frankly. When it had to rely on the scripts, right? So the production of 6 and 7 meant the producers, but behind the series didn't have the technology that compares to filmmaking gear today. The result was that many of early Doctor Who episodes suffered from technological woes. The result, I think you have to have more imagination to suspend your disbelief and watch it and enjoy it, right? I think that's where it's coming from. Technological woes, they couldn't really be fixed in post, leaving them hard to digest in modern standards. Many early, I think coming from the position of a younger person wanting to delve in Doctor Who, yeah, this is why I think TARDIS Tales was actually a good thing, right? I didn't mind it at all, right? I really didn't mind it at all. The result in the disconnection on the visual effects of the audio to certain episodes, the production values was only got worse in the early seasons. So not really. I think it was pretty bad in late seasons as well, right? leaving many of the episodes full of bloopers and mistakes. Oh, that I didn't mind. Billy Flubs, they're charming, right? It's like listening to something on vinyl. They are hard to miss from a modern viewing perspective. The result is that many classic episodes of Doctor Who are far harder to watch than they should be. Attempts to fix these issues have been somewhat successful with the animated fill-in episodes produced to replace the missing episode, but still serves as an unexpected hurdle. Doctor Who's morals can be too blunt for their own good. I had, as I look, you're watching it, the two Doctors wasn't the Doctor Who's finest state in terms of morality. Like the second Doctor was into the body horror, right? That went on. So what other shows what have they got? They got that. That I quite like this one. Somro has landed with the subtlety of an anvil. Well, what you mean? Unlike the Jodie Whittaker era. Here you go, wreck planets so you can save them. Off. No, I thought this was funny and subtle. Right. Again, this was just camp. I really liked Happiness Patrol. And I felt it's more subtle than I think Jodie ever did. Okay, fine. What's wrong with this? I have no idea. What's wrong with Caesar Death, mate? This is one of my favorite scenes where he makes the thing to beat the Ice Warriors. What's wrong? Doctor Who's expansive journey across all the space, time, and cosmos filled some of TV's best sci-fi villains and monsters are using those stories to explore powerful metaphors about life and society. However, the show also tended to be blunt in a way that could be unintentionally hilarious, especially when it came to the moral lessons of the show. When? At its heart, Doctor Who has always been a children's show. Not really. It's been a show it's a show for intelligent children that can watch with their parents. So having a high moral plot, it makes sense. However, there are some episodes of the original that were incredibly blunt about their attempts to include the mess. What the fuck are you talking about? You can rip planets or you can save them. Look, I'm an astronaut and I'm a gay man. Oh, I'm a gay man too. Does that scare? I'm like, fuck off. Really? So Jodie Whittaker, or the subtlety of her brain. Oh, I'm not male, I'm female. I'm just both and neither. Oh, I'm so stunning and brave. Oh, let it go. Something a male presenting Time Lord could never understand. Fuck me. Give me examples. You guys remember elements in episodes like the Green Death, far more subtle than anything they've done in the modern era. More so than anything since 5 years, minimally. More. 7 years. So, excuse me. Six of Legends stands out years later, whereas Seven Doctor's Adventures featured multiple blunt, if accurate, appraisals of Margaret Thatcher. No. Actually, they were really subtle and interesting and fun. They weren't dour and preachy and boring like the Jodie era, right? And frankly, the current era. I mean, I think they got away from that bit with Shooty, but I don't think it's going to last long, right? The most famous example of four-part association between some makers, which was the Doctor against a sci-fi version of Taxman. You've never seen it, you cunt. It's a fantastic story. Some makers, it's a fantastic, fun, funny story, right? What the fuck? And it was, that came from Robert Holmes, somebody who could write stories, which you could, none of the morons today can do that. Actually write a story, write character. And if it, can you write a character like Robert Holmes? Fuck off. That even when he's taking the piss, he's better. I'm sorry, this is not a favorable comparison. Old Doctor's episodes sometimes have dated stereotypes. Oh no, the Mandarin. Doctor can use certain stereotypes are perhaps the most dated element. Are you going to go with Talented Wing Chiang? Well, the show often featured many strong characters throughout the show. Some characters like Polly, Waterford like glorified secretaries. Again, we went through all the companions, and firstly, women weren't afraid to be women back in the original show, in the 60s. Like they weren't. It wasn't like a bad thing to be feminine, right? And have feminine. They weren't ashamed of it like they are today, right? You know, because the blight of feminism hadn't really third wave feminism hasn't come yet. Fuck third wave feminism. Yeah, it was. Thank God it hadn't. Right. What was I going to say? Is that they're more frustrating than the occasional rough portrayals of ethnics in the story. Some of those, like season 19's Fort of Doom, they featured portrayals of additional Australians that some consider ignorant. I don't think so. I think it was actually quite accurate, wasn't it? Season 1 telling Wang Chiang featured a white actor playing a Chinese descent again, and even included a slur. No, it didn't. And even goes, again, you need to stop clutching your pearls at everything. Oh, for fuck's sake. All right, okay. When I was at this party the other night, right, for my son, we were talking about TV. I said, "Are you watching Master of the Air?" Again, which I enjoyed it. And he's like, "Yeah, I only watched the first 5 episodes. I gave up." I said, "Oh, you should go back to it." I said, why do you watch it? And he says, "Because there's no N-words in it, right?" And what I knew he was doing was taking the piss out of everything being woke all the time, right? But it brings that. Well, it brings that racially charged humor to the fore. What you little pearl clutcher is doing here, right? If you didn't make everything about race, nobody would give a shit about race, but you made everything about race. Michael Gambon? The villain played by Michael Goff, not Michael Gambon, you fucknut. In a costume meant to invoke Chinese styles, was updated into a far more benign European character when he's Doctor Who isn't always a heroic character. That's what makes him interesting. Oh, that's really what makes the character fascinating, right? That like again, Star Trek, everybody is the top of their class, got to the best ship in the fleet, right? Doctor Who didn't really give a shit about the traditional academia, right? Because he could think for himself. Doctor has been many different characters over the years, but with a built-in ability to simply regenerate the character, other actors as well, allowing creators to tweak the character and change the time. Yes, it's always been very contemporary. However, a constant of the character has always been a curious and noble side, defining his decision to go by the moniker the Doctor. However, many stories have the Doctor who feature a version of Time who's downright heartless and gives it. But again, so with modern Who as well. It gives the character some genuine heart. That's what makes him brilliant. Look, you've got to be a bit morally. You can't be a saint and take on the evils the Doctor did, right? The first Doctor wasn't afraid to insult his allies and belittle them for failing to keep up with his brilliance. That was great about them, right? He came close to murdering a caveman. In the first episode, they hadn't really defined the character. They encountered on his journeys in the very first adventure, The Unearthly Child. The other versions of the character had argument of that Sixth Doctor infinitely lashing out his companion, trying to struggle power. Yeah, look. But I don't think he got much in between. Quite frankly, at a good 20-year run in between that, right? It's one of the most surprising. Oh, God. Whatever. Stick with the TARDIS tales, mate. Stick with the TARDIS tales. That's why I would suggest. My name's Peter Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.